Hi.
Hello, we're back.
We're back. Welcome to the next podcast
Next-
episode, which is what, Trent?
We are continuing on with the blind spots in tarot because we didn't get through many last week.
We didn't get through very many, and we actually got a lot out of it ourselves,
We did.
didn't we? Yeah,
We
and I
really
was
did.
funny. I was speaking to a beautiful young woman who was interested in learning a little bit more about tarot and all the things, and
Yeah.
she had some really cool questions, and I was like, you need to listen to the blind spot episode.
Exactly.
So good to know, and we had feedback that she
Yes.
was loving it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Loving
That's
the- loving the
wonderful. And we're
podcast.
starting to gather more listener questions too,
Yes,
aren't
we are, and that's what we want. We
So,
want your questions.
Yeah,
So
just
cool.
email us, Facebook, TikTok, however you want to get in touch with us. It's all the tarot dealers and tarotdealers@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
So
Now,
email us with your questions because we'll get a collection together and we'll do another episode on your questions.
absolutely. We love doing that because
Yeah.
we sit here sometimes. I don't know about you, but sometimes I find it not hard being in creative mode, but being on all the time.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
when the questions come through, it like takes us on a whole journey.
Away,
Another time, I don't know about you, but other times I sit there and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do and talk about today? And the next thing, I get all this creative stuff moving through me. So, maybe it's a bullshit story I'm telling myself. We'll see. Speaking of stories, let's see what the card of today is.
Exactly. What we need to keep in our focus. We're
right.
using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot.
We
today.
are. Something, we haven't done for a little while, have we?
We've been experimenting with other tarot decks.
We have, like the Dragon Tarot that I happen to love. Not that I'm biased at all, but yeah. Okay. So what's possible today?
What's possible?
What else is possible? Let's see. What else is possible?
Oh, that
would be it. If you're watching
out.
this, you'll see it fly out. If you're listening, it absolutely flew out. Fuck me.
Oh, no.
I seriously can't make this shit up. It is the Magician. And we were speaking 2 seconds ago about what is possible.
What the creativity side of us.
And the Magician comes out. So all things creative are possible, right? We have all the tools we need on the table right there. He can be a bit of a trickster, and I'm not going to talk too much about him because he's one of our blind spots.
He is one of our blind spots.
So, however, for today, where we've asked what else is possible, we are being told anything and everything is possible today. So this episode could go in any fucking direction. Who knows?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's what that is all about. All right, let's pop him over here.
Yep.
And let's
just start.
Started. What card will we start with? What would you like to start with today, Trent?
Well, I actually think I'm going to start with the Tower.
Okay, go.
The Tower. Now look, and then we're going back to the Rider-Waite deck, Rider-Waite-Smith deck, when we're looking at our blind spots, because that's the most common traditional deck.
Yeah.
When I look at the Tower, it's like, oh shit.
It is that oh shit moment,
shit
isn't it? On a scale of 1 to 10, my friend, you're fucked. So, all right, what do we got?
Well, again, it's exactly an oh shit moment. And it's like you can read it like that. And that's where we have to move out of that. Oh shit, everything's falling apart. I'm going to land on my head and not get up. Or I'm not going to get out of bed because it's just too horrifying to get out of bed.
So what if that Tower card was a doorway?
Okay, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yes. What if it was a doorway? Where might it be leading you, and what else is possible? So as Trent said, some of the blind spots are that people see the Tower card, see it as an oh fuck moment or shit moment, and don't know what's going on. And it is a card of change. However, what if that change was really good? What if it was just like shaking your own tree to see what's rotten and what's falling out?
Yeah.
What if it is about you just simply shaking up the whole environment to see what else is possible?
Exactly.
In a really cool way. Now, I get that the card beside it's going to tell us which way that's going.
Exactly, yeah.
However, just the card itself, let's break down some of that symbology. What is it that for you, Trent, might have you getting out of the oh shit moment and into this is great?
I often look at that when I get past the oh shit moment, I often think the foundation is good. It's just the foundation
Yes,
is
it
good. It's
is,
just
yeah.
that top layer or that top level or that last thing you did is not right. And you need to take it out or get rid of it, but know that the foundation is good.
I really like that. And for
Mm.
those who are watching, you can see here that Tren is talking about this piece here. See how that's like really solid.
Yeah.
And this might be, these would here might be the last task or
Yeah.
thing you did, and that's the piece that needs to fall apart, or maybe all that needs to fall apart and you're starting again. But she's right that on this particular deck, that is a pretty strong foundation, right? That it looks like that to us from
Yeah.
here, right? So interesting. I'm going to see what it's like in a couple of other decks, just because that's
Just because we can.
just because I love that, just because we can. Yeah, just because we can. And for those of you who are listening, go grab your deck and pull out the tower card,
yes.
and let's have a look at some different towers and see if maybe we get a different message. And remember, also, I don't know if we did this last week or not.
I think we
Tren,
might have done something similar.
yeah, I can't remember, but the point of what I'm going to say is that when we use different decks, they can add feelings and they can add depth and they can add a different perspective
Exactly.
to the same kind of card, right? Well, to the same card. What am I talking about? Same kind of card to the same card. So we're just going through different decks here, and we are looking for the tower.
And it is. It's like looking at a different deck will shift you out of your blind spot. Yeah. Because you do see different things.
You do see different things.
Now, I've pulled the tower out of the Light Seers deck, which is, get that light. Where's the light? There.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I love that Light Seers deck, hey.
Because it does, again, if you look at it on the Light Seers deck, they have a little rabbit up there. Rabbit? Squirrel? I don't know what it is. It's something on the bottom. Squirrel. Just watching this lightning hit the tree. But I also think, yeah, he's not worried. He's not scared. It's like, okay, this has got to happen. It's got to happen.
It's like an opening. That card makes me, when I look at that, makes me feel like there's something opening.
Well, there's lots of butterflies, actually. Like,
yeah,
there's lots of butterflies. I don't know if you can see them. I keep turning away from them. But and then there's also impressions of butterflies up here. So again, it's all about transformation, isn't it? Something has to, I don't know, like butterflies, they turn into caterpillars and then they are caterpillars, turn into butterflies.
Hang on, we're going to have a chicken and egg conversation. Yeah. Yeah, so that's funny, Trent. Yeah, so that's a really good point, right? Because butterflies do symbolize the transformation and the rebirth and all of that. So it definitely speaks to that, doesn't it?
To that change, to that transforming.
We look at the tower on the Dragon Tarot, and it is like very different. So what we see here is like a red dragon coiling itself completely around the tower. And the feeling I get from that is like a crushing experience, squeezing it out. So are we squeezing out here, or are we doing the crushing? Are we in fact crushing our own stuff? Like, look here, you can see all of that cracking.
Exactly.
Through there.
Are we taking our power back? By crushing, by squeezing something that wasn't working.
Yeah. Are we taking it back? Or are we
destroying something that no longer works?
Yeah, no longer works or is in our way, maybe?
It could be.
Yeah, interesting. Just two very different things. And the feeling that I get when I look at this particular card is that once that has been crushed and turned to rubble, if you will, that the dragon then is free to fly. So I do feel like the tower is, in this sense, about, with all of those cards, is about allowing or being in the state of allowance for something to fall away, and that it's not necessarily bad, because we see, well, bad, not necessarily from a shadow perspective. It might be that might be the shadow itself, and that we're actually coming more into the light, because to me that's about freedom when the dragon's free. And here I had the sense of that, like cracking open, the butterflies flying free. So there's that, and then here it's just doesn't quite feel the same. However, if you take those concepts of it means change. It means, lightning bolts thoughts, ideas, inspirations.
Yes, aha moments, aren't they?
Aha moments. Aha moments.
Because like we've, again, with the Rider-Waite, I often look at the crown up the top and go, well, that's where the crown sits on top of your head. So it is going to be those moments, those thoughts, those inspiration that come through, isn't it?
Because the crown traditionally speaks to the fall of power or the fall of your power, but it doesn't have to be, as Tren's just pointed out, right? So hopefully that's helped you with some of the blind spots, and maybe it's a color that you're drawn to on the card instead of the actual figure itself.
Exactly.
Now, if you, for argument's sake, look at all the black on the Rider-Waite deck, understand that where there's dark, there is also lightness, because you can't have dark without the light, right?
Exactly.
So they operate in tandem.
Now I can look at the figures that are falling on the Rider-Waite, and I just think, yeah, things are changing. Are you going to fly or are you going to fall?
Fall, absolutely.
Your choice, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Your choice, how you get through this change. Because it being in a tower and being a major Kana, it's a major change.
It is a major change, yeah, absolutely. So it's big impact, right? Yeah, wow.
So how are you going to land? How are you going to land?
How are you going to land? How are you going to land, people? So interesting. Oh, okay. What might we do next? We need to find the rest of these. Let's look at this guy in case we don't, we run out of time, and I already said we'd do him. So we're
going to do the magician.
So
we're going to compare again.
We are going to compare. What's your blind spot in the magician?
Well, I quite often think, oh, it's manifestation. You can manifest what you like. And I forget about the flip side where he can be a trickster. There's maybe a bit of sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
A little bit of sleight of hand, isn't it? Magicians, as we know, they try, watch this space while I'm doing something else.
I know a couple of fucking magicians like that. Look over here while I'm doing that over there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's my blind spot. But and I suppose it does come back to a lot of times I can't get past the manifestation of it. Yes, you have the ability to manifest, and you do, but are you specific enough?
So let's go to those words. What if we took a manifestation and creation and utilize the words actualization?
Okay.
That has a different feeling, right? I want you guys to feel that. Say in your mind right now, manifestation, creation. Sit with that for a second, and then go actualization. How does that feel different, and where does that show up for you in your body? So I'm really keen to hear about that. So what is my blind spot on this? So master of the trade is what I get when I just look at the magician and think, yeah, master of the trade. So it can tell you that you're someone who's really good on the tools, right? And these are his tools on the table that he has here. For those of you who are watching and for those who are listening, we're looking at the Rider-Waite deck. So what is my blind spots with him? Probably I'm sitting thinking, I don't even have a blind spot. There's a blind spot right there, right? Because I think I don't have one, right? So if you're looking at a card and you feel like you don't have a blind spot, you want to ask yourself, what else?
What else? What else is there?
What else is there? What am I pretending not to know? What am I not seeing? What else is possible? All those kinds of questions, because questions open you up, right? And we want open-ended questions, not closed. So yes. Yeah, I've got to stop. I keep trying to read the bloody thing, and I'm like, I don't want to read it. I want to look at the blind spots. It's funny how your energy goes, isn't it? Yeah, so I feel like the magician reminds us, and this is a piece I often forget about, is the energy piece where he has the little infinity symbol above his head, which is like the never-ending energy, right? So he has this available to him universally. So he can call on any energy he chooses, not just the energy of manifestation or creation or even actualization. He has access to any energy. So maybe it's about what energy is available to me. Maybe that's how that might open up for you. All right, what are the others here? What have you got?
Well, I just had a magician here with the light seers. Now I actually prefer this one because you can actually see the magic, you can actually see the creation, even though, and this is again a blind spot, he's quite covered. if I show the Rider-Waite, the Rider-Waite is quite colourful, the yellows and the reds. This to me seems like he's sitting in the dark. There you go. He's sitting in the dark. He's wearing dark clothing. He's got his head down. He's focused, but it's not as bright.
Yeah, I see what
It's
you're
not as
saying.
bright. But, you know, but it almost feels like the magic is still being created.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. So on the Rider-Waite deck, where the arms are raised and the arms are down, that's how he's wielding that magic. He's calling it in. So it's like as above, so below. Whereas on the Light Seers deck, you can actually, the way I look at the Light Seers deck is you can actually see him manipulating or moving that energy, like he's guiding that energy to exactly where he wants it to be, directing, that's what it is, directing the energy exactly where he wants that to be, because he has his hand raised and he still has his hand up and one hand down, but it's not right in the air, and yet the power, it still shows the power is in the hand that's directing, isn't it? Which on the Rider-Waite is the lower hand. You would think it's the upper. Well, some people think it's the upper. It's actually not. It's the power is here, and on the Light Seers it says the same thing. What's on the dragons? On the dragons is very different. So the number 1, which is the same as the magician on this card, is the shaman, and we can see his tools here, right? So we can see he's got his, you know, his sword, his wand, his cup, and his pentacle, and it just has a very different feel. I'm like, he's holding. To me, actually, he's not holding. It's like when I re-look at it, if you are lucky enough to have a look, it's like he's actualized this out of the cup, because that's actually like a smoky figure that is holding this crystal ball. So to me, or gem, some kind of crystal of some kind, and I look at it and I think, that's like what he's created. So here he's bringing that to life right in front of him. And in this particular case, he's used fire, so a wand energy, and a cup, right? And yet the sword on here is represented through the smoke. The air energy, isn't it? The air energy, and then the pentacle is represented here. So it's like, to me, the message on this particular card is what can happen when you utilize all of your tools. So we might have all of the tools available as suggested in the Rider-Waite, but the question then becomes, what if you utilize all of the tools rather than thinking one, or just one or two, you know? Like, I just think that's fascinating. So, and it's funny because on the Light Seers, there are no tools. Oh, give me a look at that. There are no tools. There are no tools. Let me see. He's just using his whole energy with his hands. He's directing that energy, bringing it down and through into the earth. Yeah, I think what they've done there, see that? Oh, you can see the symbol. We've just found the symbols on there. Yeah, however, they're not obvious, are they? No, they're not obvious. You know, your little triangles, you know, that represent like, and to me, that's more, it's not the tools that are seen on the Rider-Waite or on the dragon tarot we see. I feel like on this one, it's more like your north, south, east, west type thing, right? Which the elements do represent that, but that's a whole nother session. Exactly. But exactly. Because I'm just sort of looking at it like, you know, again, the Light Seer, so he can say he's using the pentacle energy, earth energy, because he's sitting on the earth. Oh, yeah. He's using the air by directing. Now, where the magic is happening is probably in water. Yeah. Did I get them all? I think we're missing fire. We're missing fire. So, but that could be the colour at the back. Yeah, it could be the colour. So, what has Tren just pointed out? Look at the colours. Look at the colours and see how that might connect to an element for you, because that might be the cue or the clue as to which energy you might start with. Exactly. Yes, exactly. I like that. Yes. I like that. I think we've got time for one more. Can you believe that? Like, wow, I'm loving this. So, we've done that. We've done that. What do you reckon? We just do this? I think that one. All right, we do this one. Let's find the other one. We're going to do the devil. We are going to do this one. Devil. Does trip people up, and it does scare people,
because I know when somebody's sitting across from me and the devil comes out, they go, oh shit, no, what?
Oh my God, is that person bad?
Yeah,
Like, oh my
exactly.
God, am I in a bad, fucked up
Yeah,
relationship?
exactly.
Like sometimes I want to go, yes, but otherwise, like, no, it's okay.
Like, yeah, no, get out of that toxic relationship or stop being so negative.
Yeah, exactly. So, alrighty, let's have
Yeah.
a look. What's the blind spot for
For
you on
me, I always go to the chains.
there? Okay.
Always. And I sometimes I can't get past those chains. And to me, that's like you are chaining yourself to certain ideals, not so much certain situations. It's
Certain
ideals about,
yeah.
or expectations.
And that's really funny. You talk about
Yeah.
chaining yourself or being in that kind of construct, because
Mm.
my blind spot, or when I see the devil,
Mm.
is mental health, right? I see that
Yeah.
and go, oh, and then I'm extra vigilant on checking, you know, like what else is in the cards that may indicate that, because that is blind
Yeah.
spot for me that I tend
Yeah.
to get with the devil,
The devil.
because, well, there was a lot of mental health issues around, and I've done some serious study in that space too. So,
Yeah.
interesting, in that.
Yeah.
That's what that blind spot is for me. So how I undo that for that particular card is looking at the bigger picture, as in what else is around,
Exactly.
so that I don't get that, because I can go straight down that really easy,
Yep.
right? Because the devil can mean a lot of things, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
It can be relationship, it can be
It can be addiction.
addiction,
you know.
addiction, limitation, and that's addiction of anything.
It is. Yeah. Yes, we're not talking, you know,
All the hardcore
all the
stuff.
yeah.
Can be addiction to sex, it can be addiction to
food, it can be addiction
fucking
to
sugar.
Oh yeah.
Who is addicted to sugar? Just quietly, like,
Everybody.
hello, me too. Yeah, so needing to get rid of that. Like, what the fuck?
You know, yeah, so
Sugar.
we don't have to just go straight to the, you know, you're addicted to hard stuff.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
always.
Some people are addicted to drama, you know.
Oh, very much. You know, all these
Yeah.
drama queens and kings
And
out there.
that's not us, is it, Tren? We're
Not
not
at
addicted
all.
to drama at all.
Not at
But yeah,
all.
it could be. Yeah, you could be that addiction, as Tren said, to anything,
Yeah,
right?
you know,
So
it
if
could
it's
be,
drama,
you know, staying in a toxic relationship because you like the drama.
absolutely, and you may not even realize these things.
Exactly.
You know, there's I'm not trying to point at anyone in particular, but sometimes in life you see people who are that reactive, big, everything's a big deal. That can be that.
Exactly.
Right, and that's that addiction, because the chemicals that run through your body. And did you know that the chemical, our body, the chemical that is anxiety, is also exactly the same chemical in our body that is excitement?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
wow.
absolutely. So imagine reframing that, right? Like, what might that be like, you know? And when we feel that, to go, okay, this is just excitement, you know? And we know when we're fearful, but for those people that just have, you know, anxiety creep up as like for no reason, maybe you've moved through a patch of energy that is excitement, or maybe that's just your body's way of letting you know that change is coming and it's okay to feel joy. So what would happen if you just let go?
Exactly.
Right, which back to the chains, what would happen if you just let go? Right, so that's that particular devil. What about this one?
This one has got this is the Lightseers deck, completely different energy. It's very much
a little mesmerizing, isn't he? Like drawing
come
you
on into my lair.
Yeah.
Come on in. I've got all the excitement. I've got all the things that you love. It's very much tempting you.
Look at this dude's eyes.
I know, they're a bit freaky.
Talking to a friend of mine, beautiful friend, and we were talking about like how Rasputin's eyes were that pale color and would draw people in. So maybe in this card, is that a blind spot for this card?
I reckon it is.
I reckon it is. Yeah, there you go. And we're diving straight into it and investigating it. So let's look at something else on this card. How do we get out of that mesmerization then?
Actually, look at the cut. What is he holding?
He's holding a person like a
Oh, I
puppet.
never noticed that before.
Yeah, you'll know.
I
that
never
happens a
noticed
lot,
before.
So on the Lightseers card, we have the devil who's like this sexy looking goddess with these
Yes.
mesmerizing
Yeah,
eyes.
he's got the, the model's hair
He had-
flowing behind
yeah.
him.
I used to know
You know,
someone who did
what's
that.
What's that guy that flick his hair around? What's that guy? That's his.
Fabio.
Oh yeah, the butterfly with the butter guy.
That makes me laugh. I used to know someone. Oh God. Okay. So on this card, this devil guy has his hand out, and underneath it is like all these strings, and it's a puppet. There, which is actually the person that you're either reading for, or how that person is being the puppet master or manipulating a situation. So a different way to look at manipulation. That card is in the Rider-Waite, speaks about manipulation.
This is
this
more obvious,
deck actually shows you.
It's more
Right?
obvious.
Yeah. So, I think that's pretty cool that it shows you that.
So it could be, are you being manipulated, or are you the manipulator?
Are you the puppet master? Yeah, like, pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And notice that it's on the head. The little puppet down the bottom has got his hands on his head, like pulling his head down. So to me, that could speak to voices, or see, here's that fucking mental health
goes back there
my
again.
God, back in the blind spot. Get out of the blind spot. What I find really interesting about the light seers and the devil card is one is green and one is red.
That's
right.
And then you've got, and this is the Rider-Waite is black.
It's black. So I'm thinking stop, go.
Yes, very much so.
I'm lost in the dark. But remember, the dark
it can't stay without
the
light.
Right. That's how it is. And on this one, speak of light, on the light seers deck, you'll see that there's all these droplets of light shining through. So I do feel this card is reminding us of the light.
Very much.
Reminding us of the light. And then we look at the dragon. Wow.
It's got a completely different feel as well.
I really feel when I look at this that it's about the restriction, because I'm seeing all the tied up stuff. See?
Yes, he's very much, and it's not
up.
just one chain, it's quite a few that are chaining him to one spot. So there's no movement, there's no freedom, there's no.
I was just going to say, I feel like this guy's been he's not liberated.
Yeah.
He's had his freedom taken away. I don't know if you can see that on there. Very different. Shitty light today.
It is.
You'd think as professional podcasters we would have more equipment, right? And we would have our shit together.
No, not us.
No, what if we're just human and doing what we enjoy?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? That's all very red like that.
And it's very tight. It's very close. It's very tight.
Very tight and close. So for me, that one, how would you get out of that blind spot? I think I would have to look at the red and go, it's about grounding and understanding that sometimes we can be we can allow ourselves to be heavy and stuck, if you know what I mean. And it might be about reaching for the higher, maybe working with the higher chakra realms.
Exactly.
If you're feeling quite heavy in your body, then it might be about lifting and raising the vibration. And maybe this guy has been chained because he's been too much up here, and he needs to come back down and be grounded. So there's all different ways to look at them, guys, isn't there?
There really is. I mean, this is going back to the Rider-Waite, and I don't know why, but I just always see this. I know it doesn't traditionally mean religion, but that's what I see. And that's my blind, so, because I was brought up Catholic, and it was always heaven and hell.
That'll fucking do it to you. Yeah.
And the devil. And to me, I don't know why, but this reminds me of nuns.
I'm sure we could all share a story or two about that. But
I have to, again, it's a blind spot. And as soon as I have, that's just what I feel when I see it. And I have to move that completely aside, because a lot of times that does not relate to the readings. That's mine that I have to move away and get out.
Yeah,
because
wow.
And I have to sort of go, okay, what else is in the card? What else is in the card? And what the other thing, I've seen it a while ago, but I've forgotten about it. But the hand, the devil, the way he's got his hand, reminds me of Spock.
Oh, like Starseed?
Yeah, live long and prosper. But I can't do it. I can't do it.
See, I think of Nanu.
No. So again, if you have a blind spot,
What's
look at
wrong with us?
the
Yeah.
figure and see what they're doing and try and match it to something that relates to you, to kick you out of that certain
Oh my
blind
God,
spot.
that nanu. I don't think I'm going to be able to get past that every time I look at that now. But yeah, so I think that's a really cool trick that you just shared.
just,
If you didn't catch what Tren
Yeah.
was saying or the energy behind that,
Yeah.
and correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but it was about what can you see on the card that draws your attention away from what
Away
it
from-
traditionally
yeah.
means, and maybe that'll bring you out of your head just for a second
exactly.
to see something
To see,
different.
yeah, exactly. And it could also be, and again, and this is probably not a blind spot, but this can also be read as Capricorn.
Absolutely,
As
can.
Capricorn.
That's good reminder.
And that's a good, and it's the only one I can do it with, but that's a good timing thing.
It is a good timing thing, or it's a person.
Or it's a person.
It's a person, right?
Person.
So in the timing of Capricorn, or maybe the person is Capricorn.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's the thing about Capricorns, and this is why this red devil on the dragons makes sense, because Capricorn represents Earth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, and that's a base chakra, right?
And so they can be very solid, can't they?
Absolutely,
Sort of,
fucking determined.
Yeah,
determined
exactly.
to get shit done, those guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, they just never give up, and they're structured.
Very
So,
disciplined.
Disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we see on this card there's the yellow there, so there's the red, orange, and yellow on that card, which again is talking about the base
The
chakra.
base chakras.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting how there's all these different things on the cards
because I looked at
that are
before
connected in one way or another.
in the dragon card. Now I saw that yellow right in the corner and I went, oh, he can finally see the light.
Yeah.
The light is finally showing through.
And that's just like self-power as opposed to that manipulative power, right? Because the yellow's about the self. So there's the discovery of that then sits in the light seers where you see that. Funny how they all connect, and yet they're all very different.
Very different,
and yet a lot of the symbology is there. Yeah. So Tren's trick. Look at something that takes you out of your head for a minute and then come back. I love that. Yeah,
related to something that, like a movie or a TV show or something in your life that you can go, oh, so-and-so does this. Oh, okay, I've got out of my blind spot. I can sort of see something different now.
Yeah.
Or it allows you to hear the message or feel the message that's coming through.
Yeah, so I tell you where my head went with the movie on the devil, but anyway.
Yeah, you go. The devil wears Prada. Look at the shoes.
Look at the shoes.
Oh, they're not wearing shoes. You know what I mean?
The devil wears Prada. There's something wrong with me. I was thinking Pornhub. Oh my God, the devil wears Prada. Anyway, get out of your head and do it in different ways. So
and bring in different decks if you've got the option.
Yeah.
If you've got the option, bring in another deck to sort of mix it up.
Get you out of your space. And I mean, like tarot can be very serious. It can be, all of those things. And we're not doing this to be disrespectful
at
all.
Not at all.
We're just doing this because we like to have a bit of fun and help you guys get out of your head so that you can see the bigger picture, the bigger version, and move into, the next level readers. Next level readers. Yeah, because there's a whole lot more than just that,
Exactly.
So that's it for today.
It is. We don't seem to get
we got 3 cards,
cards,
like we'll get there eventually. So send in your questions.
Yes, please. We would love your questions.
Yeah, and then we can, create podcasts and episodes from that. And subscribe, share,
comment.
Comment. We're loving that.
Yes, because we're really enjoying all the different people that are listening in different countries. So I would love to know how you read your own tarot. What tarot cards have you got?
Yeah. We would love to know that because, maybe we'll do a bit of research. And
Yes.
Have a look into that stuff and see what else is possible, people.
Oh, it's limited, isn't
possible.
Limitless.
It is unlimited. That's right. We are limitless beings. So have an amazing day.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening.
Yes, thanks for watching.
And watching.
And watching.
Do the watching thing, watching and listening. We love you. Have an amazing day and big love.
See you later.
Bye.